to the 10th day session 1 on ethics in academic writing, plagiarism of qualitative and quantitative, research of 10 days virtual workshop on research methodology in social sciences organized by the IQAC of Bund Sanghas SM Shetty College of Science, Commerce and Management Studies, sponsored by Indian Council of Social Science Research. Before we proceed towards the session, let us know about our today's resource person. Today we are privileged to have Dr. Santa Sri Sen Gupta ma'am. Madam is a librarian, associate professor grade, PhD, JRF NET SET, diploma in cyber laws and having 19 years of experience. Madam is a PhD guide at Savitribai Phule Pune University. Madam is a board of director at ND Limited, USA. To her credit, 11 research paper has been published in listed journals and 17 research paper published in national, international conferences proceedings with ISSN, ISBN number. She has been invited as a resource person at various national level webinars, state level webinars, institutional level webinars. Ma'am has many achievements. To name a few, she has won Global Librarian Award 2021 by AKS Educational Foundation, facilitated for innovation services in library during PE Society General Body Meeting, developed institutional repository using DSpace, developed Google Scholar Institutional Profile, member Board of Studies, Library and Information Science, University of Pune, worked in several administrative and academic committees as a coordinator. Now I invite Madam to take the session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Virendra Singh sir. First, I would like to thank the management authorities of Bund Sanghas SM Shetty College and to all the people who are associated with this workshop, this ICSSR sponsored workshop. And it is really a privilege to share the platform with so many intellectual people, with so many great academicians and research scholars who are working in several fields. Means I have gone through your brochure and the topic, although it is related to research methodology, but you have made it a point that several people are, several famous people who are working in this area, they are invited by you so that they will be able to share their experiences, they will be able to share their knowledge with all the wonderful participants who have joined, who have participated in this workshop. I hope that today's topic, which is a part of, I will say, a part of yesterday's topic that was taken by Dr. Satish Kanamari sir, because he also dealt with this academic writing part as well as the reference management tools part. My topic that is allotted to me, it is related to the ethics in academic writing, and especially I will be dealing with the plagiarism part. So I hope that whatever discussions, whatever presentation I'm going to give, it will be somehow I feel that you will be able to understand the concept, because this is not a completely new concept for any one of us who are attending today's workshop. But just I hope that whatever I will be presenting, it will be able to give you an insight into the topic. Though there might be some faculty members, there might be some PhD students, and as well as there might be some such attendees who just want to listen to the deliberation. So I welcome you all once again. And sir, I will just share the screen. Let me know whether you can see it.
Yes,
yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. We can see.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Is it visible, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. 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 So the topic, as I told, it is today's topic, the first session topic is Ethics in Academic Writing, Plagiarism. So before going into directly the topic, first I would like to show you some slides through which I want to just let you know that plagiarism is not only related to our field, to our educational field. There are several such cases worldwide which might be surprising to you, whether it is the music field, whether it is related to politics, whether it is related to science, arts, everywhere. There have been several cases of wherein knowingly or unknowingly plagiarism has taken place, and the person who has done it has suffered to a major loss. So as you can see in the screen, on the screen, the first one is related to a fabrication case. Now, these are some of the terms that are very deeply associated to plagiarism. Fabrication, then here you can see falsification. This fabrication, falsification, plagiarism, these are all types of the research misconduct. Research misconduct. Today's topic is basically related to plagiarism, but these are all the ways in which it is done. These are some of the examples of fabrication case, like a very famous former professor of social psychology of Netherlands. He has fabricated the data. I will just explain you what is the meaning of fabrication in after some slides. But he has fabricated data during his research work, and 58 of his papers were retracted. Then this is one Japanese researcher, Yoshitaka Fuji. Whatever research he has done, they were found, 126 of his research work was found totally fabricated. Then there was another Japanese bone researcher. You all know that bone researchers, the research work done related to this topic is very important. He passed away in 2017, but after his death, it was found that 20 of his research studies were fabricated. In this next image, you can see that researcher to plead guilty in AIDS vaccine falsification case. This case took place in 2013. Let's move ahead to some of the famous cases of plagiarism that took place in our own country. There was a very famous chemistry professor of Sri Venkateshwara University. He was accused of plagiarizing more than 70 articles. Then the next one you can see, it is a very famous case. If you all have gone through the newspapers, a few years back, it has taken place of the renowned scientist of India, Professor Dr. Raghunath Mashelkar sir. Unknowingly only we can say, but the plagiarism took place, and it was a shameful act for the Indian scientists in an international level. In the third example, you can see that Stanford University wrote a letter to late President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam about the plagiarism that was done by Professor Rajput. It was a case that took place in 2002. All these I have collected from several newspapers, from several journal articles. It is nothing like I have written anything or I am blaming someone, but these are all that I have collected, and I felt that I should share it with you all. Now, these are some of the examples of the plagiarism that took place abroad in foreign countries. The first one is of the 46th President of United States of America, Joe Biden. He has fallen foul of plagiarism several times throughout his career. And you can just go through it. In 1988, Joe Biden was forced to withdraw from the presidential race due to plagiarism allegations. just imagine that in abroad, these things are taken so seriously that a person who is contesting for the presidential elections, even that time they are checking whether whatever academic contributions these people have done, whether they are authentic, whether they are non-plagiarized or not. So in 1988, he had to withdraw his he had to withdraw from the presidential race. Then Melania Trump, First Lady, she's the ex-First Lady, the wife of Donald Trump. In her 2016 speech at the Republican National Convention, it not only mimicked the overall message, but she had done the plagiarism from earlier First Lady Michelle Obama's lecture of 2008. And then Madonna, you all know, she's a very famous international singer. She had to pay $2.5 million to Lebanese singer for who sued her for sampling her song without any permission. And then Elton John. These are all very, very, very famous people. The only motive why I'm sharing all these things is just to make you all aware that plagiarism or copying, in simple terms, plagiarism is nothing but copying. It is present everywhere. It is present everywhere. You just cannot limit it to a particular subject. That yes, it takes place only in arts, it takes place only in science, it takes place only in commerce. Everywhere you imagine any subject under the sun, and plagiarism will be there. Let's move ahead to the concept of research misconduct. It means fabrication, falsification, or plagiarism in proposing, performing, or reviewing research, or in reporting the research results. Let's understand each one of them. The first one is fabrication. What is it? I have just showed you the example. Fabrication is making up data or results and recording or reporting them. What does that mean? It means that a researcher is not doing the research work actually. He is just making up the data. Everything is fabricated. Fabrication is a word that you all might be knowing. It is a general term. But in case of research misconduct, that means that whatever data are presented by that particular researcher, they are all fabricated. You cannot prove them. And if someone wants to find out the originality, then that person will definitely, he has to do a lot of research. If you want to blame someone that yes, you have fabricated the data, then you yourself have to do a authentic research in a proper way. So all these means that fabrication is making up of data or results and recording or reporting them. The next one is falsification. It is manipulating the research materials, equipment, or processes, or changing or omitting the data or results such that the research is not accurately represented in the research record. These are very simple words. If you just read them once or twice, you will be able to understand. Because I have referred such sources which don't give very technical definitions, because it gets difficult to understand the technical definitions sometimes. These are not written by me. I have just collected it from several resources online as well as offline. So falsification means what? It is manipulating the research material and equipment. You might be using some equipment, but just for showing or just for publishing, getting your research work published in some high impact factor of Thomson Reuters, high impact factor of Science Citation Index, you are just showing that yes, I have been using this equipment, I have used this process, and these are the results. It's only you who knows that whatever you are saying, these are all false data. You get it published, but after some years, if someone wants to verify that whatever research has been done by Mr. XYZ or Miss XYZ, that person might come across such results which will prove that the research that was done by you was all falsified. The results that have been generated by you were all falsified. The third is plagiarism. Plagiarism is the appropriation of another person's ideas, process, results, or words without giving appropriate credit. Means you are just copying and you are not acknowledging the person, you are not citing the reference sources. I think yesterday's session by Kanamari sir, it was related to the reference management tools. He might have already discussed that there are several such citation management tools or reference management softwares or reference management tools which will help the students or research scholars or the teachers to make them understand how to refer the sources that you are referring, to refer the documents that you are referring, and to make a proper citation list, to make a proper reference list or a bibliography, whatever name you use. The last one is research misconduct does not include honest error or differences of opinion. Many a times people are saying that when we are taking the research methodology paper in PG level, the students, they are saying that, ma'am, research misconduct, if by mistake I make some copy, if I do some copy, will it be considered under research misconduct? By mistake. They use the simple term of by mistake. Just try to make the students understand from a preliminary level. Preliminary level means undergraduation. In our days, research was not there in undergraduate level, but nowadays the universities throughout India, leave the abroad question, but even in India, UGC has revised the syllabus, has asked, has pleaded to all the universities to revise the syllabus to such an extent that right from the first year, the students, they will get the taste of research. They will get to understand that what is the importance of research. Just give them some assignments. The credit-based courses, CBCS, the credit-based sources, it can make it possible for the institutions to introduce such seminars, to introduce such assignments which will force the student to conduct research from a small level. Let them understand that to write a 2-page assignment, they need to refer to some authentic source. Offline, online, anything will do, but they need to understand it. And it is we, the teachers, who should make them understand that it is very important that whichever source you are referring for writing down an assignment also, or for writing or for preparing for a seminar, just acknowledge that person, because it is not you. It is not that student who has written all this material. The paraphrasing and all concepts will come later on. Even I am going to discuss it. But like I have mentioned right at the beginning of today's session, that it is not that I am the author of all these points. I have referred several sources, and I have even in at the end of today's session, I'm going to show you the references, because it is very important. The more you refer, the more you will get clear ideas. It will help you in understanding a concept in a much better way, in an easier way. Okay. Just I will like to give here one example. Many a times, wherever you are working, or we might have, even I had a discussion, I had such a discussion, even you also might have had such a discussion with your peers, with your colleagues, that this person has written so many papers, 70, 80 papers this particular person has written, but everywhere the topic, the title of the paper seems to be the same. There is not much difference. It is only starting first 3 words are appearing at the end of the next title. It is just A, B, C, D, E, F and D, E, F, A, B, C, like this. This is just an example. किसी एक पेपर में शुरुआत में जो 3-4 वर्ड्स है, अगले पेपर में वही वर्ड्स लास्ट में है, and only the scope of the research changes. Like I have done just for an example, I'm telling you, information seeking behavior of ABC College, and my next paper is information seeking behavior of DEF College. Everything is same, just with the help of some softwares I have done the some words I have changed. So don't you think that it is research misconduct? Don't you think that somewhere we are making fool of ourselves as well as others? Okay, we are increasing the number of papers to our credit, that this person, then I'm taking just for an example, that this person has written so many papers. But what is the quality of the paper that you are writing? Everywhere it is the same thing. There is no change. What new knowledge are you giving to the people who are going to read it? That is why I think there might be some of the participants who have joined us today, that a few years back UGC, when they had revised the academic performance indicator clauses, there they had made it mandatory to publish your articles in refereed journals, and it was very difficult that time. And then all the scenario changed suddenly. Everywhere it was like people started publishing the journals which had no quality. Even we knew that such high impact factor, 6.7, 6.8, 6.9, 7.9, all there are, because impact factor is such a concept, and I think it has already been dealt with by some other resource person. There are several impact factors that we are seeing in the journals. But it is important for us to know that which impact factor is the authentic one. I don't want to name anything because that is not my topic today. I don't want to name anything, but please do a proper research work. Just don't get attracted to a high impact factor. You need to check before submitting your research work for publication. That's why the UGC, not only UGC, it is, you might have all be knowing about the Center for Publication Ethics. It is coordinated by Dr. Shubhda Nagarkar in Savitribai Phule Pune University, CPE. It is the short form is CPE. They have made it very strict. They have taken very stringent action against several journals who have been who are found to not following all these rules and regulations of the authenticity. They have been charging very high for publishing the research papers. All these several things are there. Plagiarism is such a topic now that everyone is talking about plagiarism. It is nothing but copying and not giving credit. And we all somehow fall prey to this thing. Okay. Sir, is the audio completely clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So now coming to our topic of plagiarism. As I told, plagiarism means the practice of taking someone else's work or idea and passing them as one's own. It is very simple, that I have lifted something from somewhere and I am saying that this is my creation, and I don't give credit to that person. I have taken this image from Wikimedia. I have given the image source also at the end of the slide. As it is written over there, artist signature, then the person has striped through and mine. This is my work. But actually what I am doing plagiarism. Now this is an image that I've taken from UGC's draft's new policy to check plagiarism in academic research. This is why I've taken this image is because this is a word cloud, basically a word cloud. Plagiarism is the main word, and whatever concepts are related to this plagiarism All these concepts are there in this image. You can see theft, cheating, permission, credit, copying, intention, reference. Chicago means what? Chicago style manual. I'll be dealing with this at the end of my lecture. MLA is there, passage, academic integrity, paraphrasing, all the words that are, all the concepts or the words that are related to the topic of plagiarism. These are brought together and the word cloud is formed. This was, I found it very interesting. That's why I'm sharing it with you all. The common types of plagiarism that are seen are, there are totally 8, and this I've taken from Inago Academy. They have presented it in a very short and sweet way. That's why I've included this one. The first type is complete plagiarism, means submit another author's work in your name. Easy to understand. Submit another author's work. Someone else has done this work and I am putting my name. Everything is same. A to Z, everything is same. I'm just removing that original creator's name and I'm putting my name. That is called complete plagiarism. Second one is source-based plagiarism. Reference an incorrect or non-existent source. What does that mean? Source-based plagiarism. For example, I have written something and just for the sake of reference, I am mentioning that I'm just taking this example. I'm mentioning that I have taken this particular topic, or I have taken the reference from Encyclopedia of ABC. Actually, there is nothing like Encyclopedia of ABC. Just for increasing the list of references, just for creating an impression that, oh, this author has referred so many documents, so many materials for writing this research paper. So I am just mentioning some non-existing sources. So that becomes source-based plagiarism, because we all know that we don't have so much time with us to verify each and every references that are mentioned in the articles. But yes, such source-based plagiarisms do take place. The third one is direct plagiarism. Copy text from another document word to word. Complete plagiarism and direct plagiarism, somehow it becomes the same. बट डायरेक्ट प्लेगियरिज्म में आप इतना एक कर सकते हैं कि पूरा का पूरा आप नहीं ले रहे हो, राइट फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट वर्ड ऑफ अ पेज टू द लास्ट वर्ड ऑफ अ पेज. somehow you might be referring to a particular paragraph and you have copied that complete paragraph from some other document, and word to word you have lifted it to your paper or thesis, whatever you are writing. The fourth one is self or auto plagiarism. Self plagiarism, reuse a major part of your work without attribution. You all might have heard about it, or I will be discussing about it later. UGC in 2020, they have brought out a circular regarding the self plagiarism. What does it mean? I have written 10 papers till now. Okay, but while writing my 11th paper or 12th paper, I am referring to my previous papers. Okay, but what I am doing, I am lifting the complete part from some of my earlier papers and I am just including it in my 11th or 12th paper, and I am not giving a reference to those earlier papers. That means self-plagiarism. Yes, remember this part. Many times what we feel that I am the author. पहले के भी papers मैंने ही लिखे, अभी के भी papers मैंने ही लिखे. The previous papers were written by me. These are also written by me. But yes, UGC has made it compulsory that even if you are referring to your already existing papers, you need to give reference to that. Otherwise, it will come under the category of self-plagiarism or auto-plagiarism. Then comes paraphrasing plagiarism. Paraphrasing plagiarism means make minor changes and use others' writing. It means you are lifting someone's concept, just make some changes in the words and put it as it is. That becomes paraphrasing plagiarism. Nowadays, there are such softwares also which make it understand that whether you are doing this paraphrasing plagiarism. The next one is Mosaic or Mosaic, whichever way you spell, Mosaic Plagiarism. Mosaic is something that you all might be knowing. The small bricks sort of, they get interlocked. Mosaic plagiarism is interlay someone else's phrases or text within your work. There are, for example, I have written a paper and there are some 20 paragraphs in my paper. Out of these 20 paragraphs, somewhere I have inserted a paragraph from some other person's research paper of the same topic. And after 3-4 paragraphs, again I have inserted some third person's paragraph. That becomes Mosaic plagiarism. Matlab, first it is Shantashri Sengupta's paragraph, then it becomes, just for example I am taking, then I liked Liji Santosh madam's paragraph, so I have inserted it. Then I felt that Smita madam's paragraph is suitable in this topic, so I have inserted it. Then Virendra Singh sir's, that becomes Mosaic. Sometimes people combine Mosaic plagiarism and paraphrasing plagiarism also. Means I will insert some other people's work in my own research paper, and then I will just change the words. I might even combine Smita madam's lines and Liji Santosh madam's lines. So all this kind of combination plagiarisms are also there. Plagiarism is also taking place. Then comes the accidental plagiarism. Unintentional plagiarism or copying due to neglect. This is unintentional, means you are not knowing that you are actually plagiarizing a topic or a concept, but you have done it. That becomes accidental. These things do take place, and sometimes it becomes difficult to understand that how come this has taken place. I never intended to do it, but it has taken place. So while going for a similarity check, these things have to be removed. While doing similarity check, if the percentage comes high, then you need to remove such content from your paper or from your thesis. The next one is inaccurate authorship. Authorship instead of acknowledgement to contributors and vice versa. It is the same thing that I've been telling. Inaccurate authorship means you are not giving credit to that person who is actually a creator. Okay, you are not acknowledging. During lockdown, when we all were, especially the teachers who are directly involved with teaching, the teachers, they were asked to, or they were forced rather to give everything in online format. We had created institutional repository. Many people, they were making use of their blogs, WhatsApp groups. Several ways were used, and the teachers, they were circulating the PowerPoint presentations. Sometimes the teachers, they felt that we have made use of certain images which are not our creation, which we have not clicked. We have taken it from some internet source. So if you put it on institutional repository, then there might be some problem of copyright, or there might be some problem of plagiarism and all. That time I told the teachers, because as during the introduction you might have heard that I have developed institutional repository on DSpace. I took workshop of my college teachers, and I told them that although we have to take the help of the images in order to make the concepts clear to our students. But since you are afraid that you might be accused of the plagiarism, you might be infringing some copyright. So better way, if you are taking the help of some image or any source, better way you give a reference to that. Even if it is taken from Google images, you can definitely give a reference to that. We are taking images from Pinterest, Pinterest. Give a reference to that. We take the images very casually. We just don't care कि क्या होता है, Google ही है. Google is like everyone's best friend. Even I am using Google images. But yes, make it a point to give a reference to whatever source you are taking from anywhere. Because that source shows that this is not your creation. No one should unnecessarily pinpoint that this person has plagiarized. She or he is using so many colorful images, but half of the work is plagiarized. Unnecessarily, you don't have to hear it. It is very simple. Just make it a point to give footnotes, to prepare a list of bibliography, to prepare acknowledgement list. These things will save you to a maximum extent. Now, I would like to discuss with you few points or excerpts. This is the most important document whenever someone is talking about plagiarism. This is a UGC circular or regulation. This is dated 31st July 2018, and it was published on 7th of August 2018. The title of the gazette is UGC Promotion of Academic Integrity and Prevention Plagiarism in Higher Educational Institutions. Regulations 2018. It is a very, very, very important document. I have given a link of that, but even if you just search it on Google or on the website of UGC, that is ugc.ac.in. I will repeat, ugc.ac.in. This is the only document which will give you all the instructions, all the points are mentioned in a beautiful way to make it understand in a simple manner that how the higher educational institutions, they can curb the menace of plagiarism. Not only in thesis and dissertations, but also right from the undergraduation level. The gazette, it is in two parts. The first initial part, it is in our national language, that is Hindi, and later on it is in English. So whosoever is not able to understand Hindi, they can go through the English part, and if you are not comfortable with English, you can go to the Hindi part. It is not available in any other language. These are the two main languages, so that's why they have given it in both. So please do refer to this document. Some of the excerpts, some of the points I would like to highlight over here. The first one is awareness programs and trainings. UGC has mentioned that the higher educational institution, HEI means higher educational institutions, they shall instruct the students, faculty members, research scholars and staff about proper attribution. Attribution means what? It is a technical term. Attribution means proper reference, proper citation. As I've been telling you till now, whatever you are referring, give a reference. You are not the creator of everything. Whatever you are referring, the higher educational institutions, UGC has made it compulsory. UGC has made it mandatory for all the educational institutions to instruct their students, faculty members, researchers and staff about how to cite. Seek permission of the author wherever necessary. Acknowledgement is must. Many a times we it is not possible for us to contact the author through mail or through phone, but at least you give his reference that yes, I have referred this person's source. Okay. The next point under this awareness programs is the higher education institutions shall conduct sensitization seminars, awareness programs, workshops every semester. Yes, it is very important that the educational institutions, they should organize the training programs, workshops or seminars. Invite such people. There are several people across all the universities or in colleges. Your librarians, they might be knowing, not only librarians, even the faculty members. Because this document of 31st July 2018, it is a very important document. Even if you read it, you will be able to understand what are the points mentioned under the concept of plagiarism and the academic integrity. It is very important to follow the ethics while writing a paper, while writing a dissertation. The next part under this same fifth point is HEI shall include the cardinal principles of academic integrity in curricula. Means they have also requested the universities to introduce these concepts in undergraduate and postgraduate level. I did my master's in library science 20 years back from Pune University. That time we had research methodology paper, but the concept of plagiarism was not available in that syllabus. We just knew that yes, we should not copy, and referencing, citations, references, research metrics were there. But plagiarism, we just knew the term. All these details were not there. But now if you see the syllabus of all the humanities topics, humanities courses or languages or the arts, everywhere the research methodology paper has been introduced. And I hope also these concepts are there, because the students who are presenting the assignments, the students who are submitting the projects, it is very important for them to understand that it is from an initial level, they have to take care that they are not violating the rules. They are not plagiarizing anything. It is very important to understand all these things. Next part, as you can see, is include elements of responsible conduct of research and publication ethics as a compulsory source. Include elements of responsible conduct of research and publication ethics in refresher and orientation courses. We all have been attending refresher and orientation courses since many years, but now, since I think last 10-12 years, these plagiarism topics have been started introducing in all these refresher and orientation courses in FDPs, in FIPs, because people have understood that it is very important for the persons to understand that what is actually plagiarism, what are the different ways in which knowingly or unknowingly you are plagiarizing something. Train the students, faculty, research and staff. Train the student, faculty, researcher and staff for using plagiarism detection tools and reference management tools. Just see, it is very important to understand all these things. Yesterday's Kanamari sir's topic, it was related to the reference management tools. The college can, even if you are using a centralized plagiarism detection tools, the college can organize such kind of sessions wherein some company will come and they will train the users, the college people, how to use the plagiarism detection tools. Then comes establish faculty equipped with modern technologies for detection of plagiarism. Establish facility equipped with modern technologies for detection of plagiarism. UGC is also making it understand that सिर्फ workshops conduct करके कुछ नहीं होगा. It is even very important for the institutions to provide you the facility, to provide you such advanced techniques. You need to spend if you want to organize, if you want that, yes, if each one of my faculty members, they must undergo all this plagiarism detection tools, whatever they are writing, they must check using the plagiarism detection tools. Provide it, spend some money, because these don't come, you cannot expect everything free. The free plagiarism checking softwares are there, but they have got word limitations. There might be some problems. Better way, spend some amount and you can go for plagiarism detection tools. The universities can provide such centralized services. Encourage the student, faculty, researcher and staff to register on international researchers registry systems. International researchers registry systems. I hope you all might have heard about the sorry, Vidwan is there. It is a project of InflivNet. Minister of Education is involved in it. Vidwan, then ResearchGate and all are there, but ResearchGate I won't suggest that much. Because I think on 8th of March, ResearchGate was sued by a court in Munich, Germany, and two of the very famous publishers, Elsewhere and the American Chemical Society, they have sued ResearchGate of copyright infringement. There are several such international researchers registry systems. ORCID is there, ORCID or ORCID. You can just register over there, and whatever papers are there, you can upload it, because that is the way in which you can increase your research visibility, you can increase your online visibility, as well as you can also somehow help in curbing the plagiarism. No one should think that, okay, this paper is published, but it is nowhere available online, because plagiarism detection tools, what they are doing, they are doing the similarity check of the documents that are available online. If some document is not at all available in online format, how will you check it? So these international researchers registry systems, they will help you in producing your work or in depositing your work in an online format. There are several such registry systems in all the subjects. Please search it and do registration. The next part is of the next point, the 6th point in the UGC Regulations 2018 is curbing plagiarism. These are some of the points that is mentioned, that HEI, the higher education institution, shall declare and implement technology-based mechanism using appropriate software so as to ensure that documents such as thesis, dissertation are free of plagiarism at the time of their submission. You all know that we have to give declarations at the beginning of your thesis. You are giving declaration certificate, your guide is signing on that certificate, you yourself are signing on that certificate that you have not plagiarized, and all the documents that you have referred till now, you have given proper acknowledgement to them. Mechanism as defined shall be made accessible to all engaged in research work. Then every student submitting a thesis, dissertation to the HEI shall submit an undertaking. Same things are mentioned everywhere, that it is the original work. The researcher as well as the guide should certify. The researcher should declare and the guide should certify that this thesis is an original work. I have not plagiarized it from anywhere. Even if you are writing a research paper, you all know that the journals, the publisher is asking you to sign a copyright declaration form, because that is the only undertaking that you are giving, through which the publisher will be able to understand that whatever you have presented in this particular research paper, this is not a work of copy, and you have given proper references, you have given proper acknowledgement to the original creators. HEI shall develop a policy on plagiarism and get it approved by its relevant statutory bodies. Approved policy shall be placed on the home page of the HEI website. These are all the recent developments. You all just आपके खुद के institutions में भी होगा website में. I was going through the SM Shetty College website. They have given this. They have uploaded this policy document. That what is there, because they are approved PhD research center of in the subject of commerce under Mumbai University. So they have uploaded their research ethics, their research policy, because it gets very important for everyone who wants to get associated with SM Shetty College PhD Research Center, that these are the rules and regulations that they need to follow. Okay, each supervisor shall submit a certificate. We will discuss all the questions at the end of the session. Each supervisor shall submit a certificate indicating that the work done by the researcher is plagiarism free. You all, those who have already done PhD, we know that our supervisor is generating a similarity check report and a certificate is generated through that particular software, whether it is Turnitin, Urkun, Authenticate, anything. Urkun was the earlier name, now it is Original, OURIGINAL. So whichever software you are using, these are the main softwares. So they are generating a certificate. And at the time of submission of your thesis, you need to submit this certificate along with the thesis. HEI shall submit to InflibNet soft copies of all masters, research programs, dissertations, and theses within a month after the award of degrees for hosting in the digital repository under Shodhganga e-repository. This is a very important thing, and although this regulation came in 2018, first time this point was mentioned by UGC in 2010, that whatever PhD thesis is submitted in the university, soft copies of those PhD thesis or MPhil dissertations, that time it was MPhil dissertations were also there, they should go to the Shodhganga e-repository. But if you check Shodhganga, you will come across such results. Presently, Shodhganga has crossed, I think it is hosting some 3,55,000, more than 3,55,000 theses. But not all the universities have started. MOUs are done by all the universities with Shodhganga. But if you search that how many theses are uploaded by my university, then you will see that hardly few are there. That's why UGC is continuously, frequently they are posting that it is compulsory for the educational institutions to submit their soft copies. Previously it was just MPhil dissertations, PhD thesis. Now they, in 2018, they have also included master degree dissertations. But I don't think that how many institutions they are also depositing the master degree dissertations to Shodhganga. There is another form of that is the Shodhgangotri. Ganga is the major one, the final work, PhD thesis. Shodhgangotri's work is, that is a repository of the synopsis. Synopsis is the part which gets approved by the RR committee, and then you can start working. So even InflibNet has made this that compulsory, that you can also upload, you must also upload all this synopsis. Why is it important? It is important because these are the platforms through which we all will be, not only we, everyone across India, whosoever is interested in doing research work, They will be able to know that what research is going across India. Whenever you want to do research, the first thing that comes in our mind is kaun sa topic le. The guide expects that yes, my research student should take such topic, it should be a virgin topic. No one should have done a research in this topic till now. Even if research is done, but the complete scope should be different. The methodology should be different, the equipment should be different. But if you are sitting in Pune, just for example, I'm telling you, you are sitting in Pune or you are sitting in a remote area, you don't know that इंडिया के कौन से यूनिवर्सिटी में क्या रिसर्च हुआ है ऑलरेडी इस टॉपिक से रिलेटेड, then how can you claim that you are really doing research in a virgin topic? That's why UGC Inflibnet, they have mentioned that it is important that whatever research work is completed or whatever synopsis is accepted for research, they must be uploaded to Shodh Gangotri and Shodh Ganga, because these are free. You don't have to spend anything, and you cannot do it individually. Just remember, you cannot do it individually that yes, I am doing PhD, I will individually upload in Shodh Ganga. No, it will be done through the university, because university is the awarding is the PhD awarding or MPhil awarding authority. Okay, you need to submit your thesis or dissertation or your master's dissertation to the college, agar aap kisi college se affiliated ho to, and the college is supposed to give it to the university. And there are such administrators, there are repository managers of each and every university. Just go through the Shodh Ganga website. Agar aapko website address nahi bhi malum hai, just go to Google and search Shodh Ganga. You will get through the website. You'll go through the website. Everywhere the rules and regulations are written. Who is the Mumbai University Repository Administrator? Who is the Pune University Repository Administrator? JNU Repository Administrator kaun hai? Just go through it and you will be able to know that you can even request your college or your university administrator that, sir, I have done my PhD 3 to 4 years back, still my thesis is not appearing here. They will see that why is it not appearing. Please do it. It should not be like, okay, these discussions we are doing it today, later on from tomorrow we are forgetting everything. Then there is nothing, means it will be a sheer time waste of yourself. And also the last point, if you see, the educational institution shall create institutional repository on institute website, which shall include dissertation, thesis, paper, publication and other in-house publications. This is another platform. If you are working in such a college or in university which is not having a MOU with Shodh Ganga, then how to get your work, how to get your research paper in the online platform? Institutional repository is the platform. You can upload your ETD on that. ETD means electronic thesis and dissertation. You can upload your electronic thesis and dissertation in that platform. Your librarian or repository administrator, whosoever it is, that person will upload it. Just remember one thing, don't upload the full text research papers of the journals, because you need to go through the policies of that journal. If it is an open access journal, still you need to go. Many times open access journals, they don't do any such problem. You can directly upload the full paper, but sometimes they mention that you can upload the preprint of the paper, or you can just give a link, the DOI, Digital Object Identifier link, you can upload it. At least whosoever is interested in going through the full text of that paper, they can pay for that paper or they can pay for that journal and they can have an access. But the higher education institution's responsibility is to make the intellectual output of their institution visible to the world, and institutional repository is the best way through which it can be done. We all are getting accredited through NAC, National Assessment and Accreditation Council. And if you have gone through the guidelines of NAC for autonomous colleges, they have not yet made it compulsory for the affiliated colleges, but for autonomous colleges and universities, institutional repository is compulsory. Institutional repository is compulsory for the autonomous colleges, autonomous institutions, and the universities. The next point comes is the 7th point in that UGC regulations of 31st July 2018 is similarity checks for exclusion from plagiarism. Whenever we are uploading some document, this one question comes in our mind, that do we have to upload the complete document, or are there some portions which we need to exclude? कौन सी चीजें हमें नहीं अपलोड करनी है? That also you must keep in mind. Otherwise, if you just blindly upload your paper, then very high rate of similarity will come, and we just get confused that what should we keep and what should we do to lower down the percentage. These regulations, these rules and regulations, these points are mentioned in this 2018 circular. The first one is all quoted work reproduced with all necessary permission and or attribution. Wherever you are using the quoted work means quotations, जो double inverted comma वाले अगर आपने कुछ भी, if you are taking any definition from anywhere, use the quotation marks and remove it from the document which you are going to submit for plagiarism check. Remove the references, bibliography, table of content, preface, and all the acknowledgements before submitting your paper for plagiarism check. All the generic terms, the laws means not in each and every subject laws are there, but in mathematics, in chemistry, physics, the scientific subjects, they do have the laws. Then the standard symbols, equations, these things need to be removed from the paper before submitting it for the plagiarism check. Here, if you see, they have given a note. The research work carried out by the student, faculty, researcher, and staff shall be based on original ideas, which shall include abstract, summary, hypothesis, observations, results, conclusions, and recommendations only. Just I will repeat. The research work carried out by the student, faculty, researcher, and staff shall be based on original ideas, which shall include abstract, summary, hypothesis, observation, result, conclusion, recommendations only. These 7 to 8 points are the most important things that are only to be present in the document that you are going to upload for plagiarism check. Here I will mention, I have just highlighted this one point. This is actually taken from UGC regulations, the draft UGC regulations in 2017. Later on, with the suggestions that were received from across India, then they finalized it, and it was released in the 31st of July 2018. Why I have taken this point? In the draft regulations, they had mentioned zero tolerance policy in core area. What is the core area? Core area means ये जो ऊपर जो मैंने part आपको बताया अभी, abstract, summary, hypothesis, observation, result, conclusion, recommendations. These are known as the core area of any research work. In this particular core area, zero tolerance policy is expected, is followed, and there should not be any plagiarism in this part. Later on, in the final version of this circular, The zero tolerance policy was more. They have just mentioned it in a different. There should not be any plagiarism detected in the core area of your work. The next part is the levels of plagiarism. Plagiarism would be quantified into following levels. Level 0, similarities up to 10%. There is no penalty and they are considered as minor similarities. Level 1, 10 to 40%. Level 2, 40 to 60%. Level 3, similarities above 60%. In the next slide, you will be able to see that for every level, they have mentioned the they have different rules and regulations. If your paper is detected of having 10%, then what is the rule that you need to follow? If it is 10 to 40%, so kya karna rahega? Everywhere they have mentioned separate things. At the end of the slide, you are able to see that formation of Institutional Academic Integrity Panel, IAIP, and Departmental Academic Integrity Panel, DAIP. It is made. It is a suggestion and recommendation from the UGC for all the HEIs that no matter whether you are a small college or a big college or a university, you must have these two committees in your institution. Because these two committees are going to frame the research ethics policies and they are going to learn about level and all these. Next excerpt that I have taken is penalties. It is 12.1. Penalties in case of plagiarism dissertations. IAIP shall impose penalty considering the severity of the plagiarism. Now I've made use of several colors, 4 different colors. Level 0, if it is still 10%, then no penalty is there. Level 1, if your similarity percentage is 10 to 40%, such students shall be asked to submit a revised script in a stipulated time, but it should not go beyond 6 months. अगर आपका जनवरी में हुआ है या मार्च में हुआ है, and in March it is detected that your paper is having 40%, 10 to 40% of similarity, then you need to revise it. And today is what? April. This is April. So April se 6 mahine. The next, in the next 6 months, you need to submit a revised script, but you cannot go beyond 6 months. Okay. Next one is level 2, 40 to 60% similarity. Such student shall be debarred from submitting a revised script for a period of 1 year. अगर आपके रिसर्च पेपर में 40 से 60%, 40 to 50% की अगर सिमिलैरिटी मिलती है, then such a student will not be allowed. Debarred means will not be allowed to submit a revised script for a period of 1 year. Level 3, similarities above 60%, that is a very high percentage. Such student registration for that program shall be cancelled. This is a very important part, and we all who are doing the research work, even if you are a master degree student, still you should know all these things. Now these are some notes, you can go through it later on. The next part is penalties in case of plagiarism in academic and research publications. The previous 12.1, it was related to thesis and dissertations. Now this is related to the research papers, academic and research publications. First one is same, similarities up to 10%, no penalty. Level 1, 10 to 40% if it is detected, shall be asked to withdraw the manuscript. Level 2, 40 to 60% if it is detected, shall be asked to withdraw manuscript, shall be denied a right to 1 annual increment. See, this even shall be denied to a right to 1 annual increment, matlab financial loss. Shall not be allowed to be a supervisor to any new master's, MPhil, PhD student, scholar for a period of 2 years. Level 3, similarities above 60%, shall be asked to withdraw manuscript, shall be denied a right to 2 successive annual increments, shall not be allowed to be a supervisor to any master's, MPhil, PhD student for a period of 3 years. These, I will just request all of you, please go through this 12.1 and 12.2. Although the levels are same, but the measure of penalties are different related to thesis and dissertation and related to your research publications. In research publication, the actions that are taken, there you are going to suffer financially. In thesis and dissertation, financial losses are not there, but here it is, you are going to suffer financially. So we need to be very careful while preparing any research paper. This is again the notes. After every point, UGC has given certain notes. These I will not discuss over here. Now coming to the 20th of April 2020 public notice by UGC regarding self-plagiarism, the part that I discussed during the initial slides. Even if you are referring to any of your earlier articles, you have to give a reference to that. Because if you don't give a reference, then you will be a culprit of self-plagiarism. Okay. Go through the details. I am not covering the details over here. Now, this is just an example of the guidelines for plagiarism check. This is of Delhi University. The website address is also mentioned over here at the footnote of the slide. You can see every university has developed their own rules and regulations regarding the PhD thesis submission, regarding the plagiarism reports which are required during the PhD thesis submission. UGC has given a general guidelines, but the universities, they have prepared their own rules and regulations, like which software have to be used. Like Delhi University has mentioned, you can see it in the first point. PhD thesis must undergo a plagiarism check by either Turnitin or Authenticate. No other software will do. Then the second point is exclusion at the time. What all things need to be excluded. Then self-plagiarism, what are the rules? Fourth point, if you see, the final plagiarism check from the library is essential so that the correct report is submitted at the time of thesis submission. It is not only the guide who is supposed to do the plagiarism check. Plagiarism check from library of the university is compulsory as per Delhi University. Then the Central Library will issue a final certificate of plagiarism check called the Plagiarism Verification Certificate, certifying and authenticating the check performed by student or department. This is just an example that I am showing you all, that all the Indian universities, they are following UGC regulation, but they can do some additions also if they want in their own level, and they can frame their own rules. But whatever are the rules, they need to display it in their institutional website. Now let's go to how to avoid plagiarism. We all have seen that what is plagiarism, kya penalties hote hain, how you need to be careful, what are the types and all that. But let's come to how to avoid plagiarism. The first one here I would like to take over is, in December 2019, UGC has made it compulsory for all the universities to conduct 2 credit courses for the awareness about publication ethics and publication misconduct. The title of this course is Research and Publication Ethics, RPE. And it is, as you all know, that the PhD students need to go through the coursework. Okay. So along with this coursework, the pre-registration coursework, RPE, is made compulsory. In this RPE, they teach what is scientific misconduct, what are the research metrics, what is open access publishing, then how you can avoid plagiarism, what are the several types of impact factor list, which are the authenticated impact factor list. All these minute details they are teaching. It is a 2-credit course and it is compulsory, and all the universities are supposed, they are directed by UGC to undertake it. Pune University has introduced it and they are taking this course. I hope the other universities are also taking it. Let's go to some point. How can you avoid plagiarism? The first one is paraphrase your content. Now, what is paraphrase your content? It is nothing but do not copy paste the complete part. If you want to refer something, then definitely do it. If you want to refer something, Liji ma'am, we will discuss it at the end. I will just go through all the questions at the end of the session. Thank you for posting the question. The first one is paraphrase the content. Do not copy paste the text verbatim from the reference paper. Instead of that, what you can do, you can understand the concept and write it in your own words. Understand the concept, read as much as you can. That will help you in preparing a vast bibliography, vast list of bibliography. And the more you read, the more you will be able to understand the concept in an in-depth manner. And then you can write it in your own words, because that will help you in increasing your vocabulary. Okay, that will help you in increasing your vocabulary. Understand the concepts. Now there are such kind of paraphrasing softwares. One very famous is Quillbot. 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 This Quillbot software, they have got a free version as well as the paid version. They will help you in paraphrasing the content, but don't go for plagiarism in that. Okay, copy paste karke dal diya and they will just do the paraphrasing. Don't go for that. Understand the concept, and the more you read, like I have told you, you will be able to write it in a much better way sometimes. Next is use quotations. Use quotes to indicate that the text has been taken from another paper. Double quotes, double inverted commas jo hai, that you can use. That will indicate that this is not your own statement. This you have taken from some other document, and give a reference at the footnote, या फिर आपके reference, या फिर at the bibliography. The third one is cite your sources. Identify what does and does not need to be cited. कहाँ पे जरूरत है, कहाँ पे नहीं है. These are all several ways in which you can do the citation. Plagiarism checker tools are there. Reference management tools are there. The next point is maintain records of the sources you refer. In yesterday's Satish Kanamari sir's lecture, I think he has already discussed what are the reference management tools. Mendeley is there, EndNote is there, Zotero is there. Many of them are open source, many of them are free, some of them are paid. But the librarians, they do know how to use these sources. If someone is not knowing, then there are such kind of courses. Such online courses are also available, जहाँ से आपको guidelines मिल जाएंगे that how to make use, how to use all these sources for referring, for keeping a track of all the references that you are using. Because it is not at all possible for a researcher to remember everything कि कहाँ से क्या sources ले रहे. But yes, you have to, since you don't want to get plagiarized, you don't want to increase the similarity percentage, so you need to give a reference to all the sources, and the reference management tools will help you in doing that. Next one is use plagiarism checkers. Plagiarism checkers, there are several tools. Free, as I told you, free are there, but there are certain limitations. You need to use a good software. If your college can afford, it is well and good. Otherwise, through the university, because the PhD research guides, they do have the access to the plagiarism check softwares that are provided by the universities centrally. Now, these are some of the examples of how to avoid the plagiarism. Reference management tools, these are some examples that I've given. Citavi, Mendeley, RefDB, RefWorks, BibMe, Bibsonomy, EndNote. Several countries, there are many more than these, but this is just an image that I came across in one of the articles, so I'm sharing it with you. I will not go to the details because it is already done, I think, yesterday. Next are some of the examples of the plagiarism detection tools. One major problem that are seen in the plagiarism detection tools is, there are several. I have listed some 17. This drill bit is a new plagiarism detection software that has come up in the market, and several organizations are using it. It is Indian software made in India. Rest of them are this Turnitin and all, as you all know, these are foreign softwares and they are very costly. It is not possible for all the educational institutions to spend so much for all these softwares. Original, I think it charges some 1.7 lakhs per year, and that too, the limit is 1000 documents, and their definition of a document is different. For original people, the definition of a document is 40 pages equivalent to one document. You all know thesis is not of 40 pages. A research paper can be of 40 pages, but thesis, it goes to some 200, 300, 400 pages. So it is not possible for every institution to go for that individually. But yes, agar aapki university mein hai, please do make use of all this. The problem that I was telling, I was discussing is the language problem. All these software, since majority of them, 99.9% of them are foreign developed, they do support the foreign languages. There are some restrictions in the foreign languages also. English is always covered because it's a universal language, but the regional languages, like you know, in India, so many languages are there. The regional languages are not covered. Marathi, Hindi, Telugu, Gujarati, Punjabi, Oriya, Assamese, etc. So what about these? Sometimes the researchers feel that it is very easy to get through the plagiarism because सिर्फ एक letter ले लेना है, एक certificate ले लेना है that yes, my work is not copied from anywhere. But where is the plagiarism detection tool? Drillbit has come up with a solution, but still, because it is just in its initial stages, it has not yet started including all the language documents. They might be including it in due course of time, but presently they are not including all. Check for plagiarism. I just went through this software name in one of the articles. They are Hindi plagiarism checker. I have not used it, so I don't want to comment on it. There might be some other plagiarism checker tools also. Please go through it. These are just some 17 examples that I've listed. Coming to the last part is style manuals. Now, what is this style manual? Style manuals is nothing but it is a document that provides the rules for correct formatting. Means how to cite the works. We are telling right from the beginning, I'm going on telling you, you need to cite, you need to cite, you need to cite. But every subject has got a specific style in which you need to cite the work. The most famous ones are MLA, Chicago, and APA. MLA is Modern Language Association, Chicago Style Manual, and American Psychological Association. How to choose the citation style? Because sometimes we feel that so many citation styles are there. Which one to choose? Now, the American Psychological Association Manual, APA, it is used by education field people, psychology and sciences, and social sciences people are also using it. We library science people, they do use APA. I don't know about other universities. At least in Pune University, we are using APA. MLA, Modern Language Association, it is used by the humanities people. Chicago style manual is used by business, history, and fine arts. Some universities are using Chicago style manual for science also. AMA, American Medical Association, it is used purely for medical research. AP, Associated Press, it is one of the oldest style manuals and it is used by the journalism people. Everywhere it depends on the university that which style manual do they want to use. This is just an example that I have given, that basically these style manuals are used for these subjects. It depends on your college, your university, that which manual they want to follow. In some research papers, they have developed their own style manuals also. You might have come across such research papers that these are the style manuals that are supposed to be followed by the author of the paper. So that time you need to go through the style manuals. Now this is one example. It is, I have just compared the difference between American Psychological Association, that is APA manual, MLA, and Chicago style manual. The example that I have taken is an article in a print journal. This is an article in a print journal. Style manuals, what are these basically? As I told you, they will give you guidance on how to cite a book, how to cite a chapter. If you are referring just a chapter of a book, then how to cite a chapter of that book, how to cite a journal, how to cite a journal article, how to cite a thesis, audio recording, video recording, map, atlas, everything. All the electronic format documents. If it is an online journal, how should you refer? How should you cite? If it is a print journal, how should you cite? E-book कैसे cite करना है? Print book कैसे cite करना है? Several manuals, several rules and regulations are there. Now, this is an example that I am taking. It is of an article that is published in a print journal. Title of the article, Market in Plato's Republic. And author of the article is Joshua Winston. Classical Philology is the title of the journal. 2009 it is published. Volume, issue number, everything is there. Now, in this table, you are able to see APA, MLA, and Chicago. Okay. In APA, what they have done, surname of the author, comma, the first alphabet of the author's name, and then in parenthesis, parenthesis means bracket. In parenthesis, immediately they have mentioned the year, 2009. In MLA, you will see year is mentioned at the end, towards the end. In Chicago, it is again mentioned towards the end, but in parenthesis, bracket. In APA, the title of the article appears immediately after the year, then how the title of the journal, then the volume number, how is it written, the issue number, the pages, everywhere the styles are different. That's why it is very important for the student, whosoever is doing a research work or whosoever is writing, if some faculty member or student is writing research paper, you need to follow the style manual of that particular university or of that particular journal. These are minor differences, but you have to follow it. Somewhere in MLA, you can see that the page numbers, they are written as pp.439.458. But in APA and Chicago, pp dot is not mentioned. They have directly mentioned the page numbers. So this is just a difference that I thought that I must show you. And these are the list of references. Majority of them are online. The UGC regulations are also there. And always remember that whenever you are referring some online resource, also mention the date on which you have accessed that resource. It is very important because the URLs might get changed. Whenever you are submitting the thesis, that time if someone wants to cross verify, ऐसा हो सकता है कि अरे this is a non-existing source. That person will think it is a plagiarized source. That's why it is very important that whenever you are referring some online source, mention the date. Here you can see at the end of the last reference, Online Library Learning Center, University System of Georgia. This I accessed some 8 days back. On 20th of April, I've accessed. These are minor things, minute things, small things, but yes, you need to take care that whenever you are referring something, give a proper reference, acknowledge the people that you are taking the help. Sometimes oral communication is also there, that also you can acknowledge, and dates are very much required. Thank you very much. I hope that whatever I had discussions have taken place, it will be helpful to you to understand that what is the concept of plagiarism, how it came, and what are the types of plagiarism. That is also very important, and also how you can be careful, how you should be careful of not repeating all these things, how you can avoid getting plagiarized, or how you can no one should be able to accuse you that yes, she has taken it from this source, but she has not given the proper reference. So these were the deliberations, and I have seen someone has mentioned to share the PPT. Yes, I will definitely share the PPT with Liji madam as well as Smita madam. You are free to share it with with the participants. And the session is now open to questions. I hope I am in time, 11:30. Yeah. Thank you once again.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, thank you. Yes, there are some questions in the chat box, ma'am.
Yes.
Varsha ma'am is asking, ma'am, just abstract of my paper got published as conference proceeding. Later, after some minor changes, which is important in paper, plus title change, can I send the full paper to a journal?
Ma'am, just extract of my paper got published as a conference proceeding. Later, after some minor changes, which is important paper.
Yes.
Is the paper published in the conference proceeding, Varsha? Are the participants allowed to unmute?
Varsha ma'am, you are a co-host now. You can unmute and speak, ma'am. Varsha ma'am, you can speak, ma'am.
Yes, Varsha ma'am, you can speak.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Varsha, you can just speak. I was asking you that is your paper published in full length in the conference proceedings?
No, just the abstract.
Just the abstract. So if you want to send, as you have mentioned, that later after some minor changes, which is important in the paper, plus title change, can I send the full text to a journal? You need to inform the journal that you had sent the abstract of this paper to the conference for some conference proceeding, and the abstract of the paper is published. Because every journal has got their own policies. Later on, there should not be any problem for you.
Okay.
You just communicate to them that the abstract of this paper is published and you have made certain changes so that they will be able to suggest that what you can do.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the next question is the online plagiarism tool valid?
Online plagiarism, if it is a free, then you need to check, because as I told you, Devanjali Datta, she has asked us, free plagiarism tools, there are so many plagiarism tools available, but everywhere the limitations are there. Some word limitations, 500 words, 200 words, 1000 words, and it becomes a headache for us ki every time copy paste karke you need to upload it over there. Valid and invalid is not a matter, but the thing is whether whatever results are coming, whether they are correct. Better way, don't go for the online, the free sources. Try to go for the authenticated sources, the ones that I mentioned. Authenticate, Turnitin, Original, they are the main plagiarism tools that are used by the educational institutions. Try to go for it. Otherwise, small CO tools, it is another plagiarism detection tool. You can refer them, but I can't say I can give a final word. because we are not the authorities to give a final word for that. Sometimes you even will see that the journals, they are doing their plagiarism check on their own. So it might happen that you are using some software and they are using some other software. So the plagiarism the similarity percentage will be different. And also this thing has happened with me that I had sent a paper, means after my thesis got, after my result was declared, since it was already checked in Turnitin, some 3 to 4 months, after some 3 to 4 months, in one of the international conference, I had done I had referred my thesis, but still the plagiarism percentage was coming, similarity percentage was coming high. Then I told them that I had referred my own thesis and it is my own work. But what happened in the database, my earlier work was present and it was not deleted. So my work was getting checked with my own work. That's why the similarity percentage was coming quite high. So all these kinds of things, they do take place. Try to avoid, or not only try, avoid checking the plagiarism on multiple softwares at a time. Use one software, that will be better. That is just my suggestion. Anyone can have some other suggestion also.
Okay, ma'am. Mr. Dinakaran sir is asking about how to find nobody done our topic.
Dinakaran sir, that is what I mentioned, that if you want to go for such a topic in which no one has done a research, it is quite difficult, but it is not impossible, because if that's why InflibNet has been InflibNet as well as UGC, they have been expecting from the educational institutions, from the colleges, from the universities, that they must upload their colleges through universities, that they must upload the thesis, whatever are completed, whatever are declared. And these theses, they should be, the soft copies of these theses should be available in Shodhganga, because these are the only platform. If, as I mentioned during my lecture, if you are not able to go to Shodhganga, at least through the institutional repository, because once the things come to institutional repository, DSpace, whatever is uploaded in DSpace or in institutional repository, if you are developing it using any open source software, they do get indexed on Google. So anyhow, you should be able to come across, and you need to search the literature review. That's why it is one of the most important part for any research, whether it is science, arts, commerce, anything. Literature review is the most important part, because that gives you a vast in-depth knowledge about your own topic. It makes you aware about the various ways in which you can understand your topic. Also, it will help you in understanding it. It will help you in coming across the researches which are done. You might come across that, okay, this research has already been done from this perspective. Then you can just change the way in which you need to do the research work. Shodhganga, as of now, Shodhganga is the only way. Otherwise, on international level, ProQuest thesis and dissertations, PQDT, ProQuest dissertation and thesis, it is one of the world's biggest database of thesis and dissertations. That can also help you. Go through all these documents, go through all these online resources. They will help you in understanding whether what research is done in the topic that is chosen by you.
Okay. The next question is by Rashmi ma'am. She's asking, does that mean we need not to submit the entire
Rashmi ma'am, I think.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Liji ma'am, you have asked one question.
No, ma'am has replied.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, colleges can't take up such courses. The problem is, I won't say problem. UGC has asked the universities to conduct these courses. They are supposed to frame the syllabus for these courses. If yours is an autonomous institution, you need to discuss with the university that, since yours is a research center as well as I think it's an autonomous college also. So you can just have a Is it autonomous?
No, no.
No, ma'am.
Okay, affiliated only. You can just discuss with the university, Mumbai University, that whether they have framed any syllabus for such a question, for such a course, and then you need to follow it. Individually, each and every research center, I think they are not allowed to go through this because they are all affiliated to a university. So whatever syllabus they are framing, you need to follow it.
Yes, ma'am. We actually have our own set of, we made plagiarism check compulsory for even for all our projects of undergraduate students. So that this research ethics happens from the budding stage itself.
Yeah, that's very much required actually.
Yeah, otherwise children will, start doing this. They unknowingly sometimes they do it. Yeah. So we made it compulsory. Yeah. Without getting the plagiarism checker certificate, they cannot submit their project report.
Yeah, so, this is an excellent practice that you are following right from the undergraduate stage, and this is what is mentioned. I have shown it in the slide that UGC is also expecting that right from the undergraduation level, from the budding level, the students, they should be able to understand that what is the importance of academic integrity in their educational life. Then only once they come into our stage, they will be able to suggest the students that you must avoid plagiarizing as well as getting plagiarized.
Absolutely. So that's
and
why
from the library part also, we have the sessions, ma'am, like every year. In both the semesters, we take up sessions for both the, the students who have these projects in their third year. We do it right from the second year itself. So we just train them, how to avoid plagiarism and what all sources are there from where they can pick up information and how they have to rewrite and not write exactly the same thing. So we just give them a presentation like every semester we have that practice.
Great. This is what is actually done, needed to be done by everyone. That every institute, they should follow these things. Just then only it will be helpful to curb the menace, because otherwise just by organizing one day workshop, one day seminar, it is not going to fetch anything. If all the institutions like you are following this in your own level also, everyone, they should try to do all these things. It's a I congratulate and appreciate the efforts that are taken by you people.
Thank you, ma'am. That's why I asked you this question. If we can also have such kind of courses, then our teachers will be enriched.
Courses individually, I think it is not allowed because UGC has mentioned it for the universities to do it, and university is going to frame the syllabus. So still, you can just have a talk with the
Sure, ma'am. Yes. Hello.
Yes. Shall I ask next question, ma'am?
Yes, should carry on.
Okay. Does that mean we need not to submit the entire thesis, but only the core chapters for the plagiarism check? This is the question by Rashmi, ma'am. I think ma'am is there.
Network issue maybe.
Ma'am, you are on mute.
Ma'am, you are on mute, ma'am.
Unmute,
ma'am.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah. I got disconnected in between due to some internet problem.
Yes.
Rashmi Pillai, are you able to hear me now? Yeah, Rashmi Pillai, she has asked one question. Does that mean we need not submit the entire thesis, but only core chapters for plagiarism check? Chapters itself are core work. They come in the core area. It is only that if there is any table of content, if equations, references, bibliography, those parts you need to exclude. Rest, complete all the chapters, your abstract, everything needs to be included while giving your paper for the plagiarism check. And she has mentioned, I was told in one such workshop that in ROL, what is ROL? I didn't get it. Even the variables which you are stating. Yeah,
ma'am, review of literature.
Okay, review of literature. Even the variables which you are stating as used by the authors need to be rephrased. Found that very odd as we are renaming the author, but we are told that otherwise it may come in small. Review of literature is one such part which sometimes detects the highest percentage of similarity. Everyone has got their own way of saying. In some of the universities, review of literature also needs to undergo plagiarism check. But in other hand, in some universities, they say that review of literature should be excluded from plagiarism check. But rephrasing and all, if, as I told you, if you are using the same concept, whatever it is written, use the quotes. But yes, don't copy paste the complete thing while writing review of literature. You have to understand, you have to read it, and you have to rephrase it in own words. This is what is always expected while doing literature review. Otherwise, what is very easy, like if you are referring to EBSCO database, just for example, EBSCO database, then EBSCO database, it gives you access to the title, author, then how to cite, and the abstract. In abstract, they give the content that you can directly copy paste in the literature review. Try to avoid that, because if you start doing that, it means you are doing plagiarism. Understand that concept, and you need to write that thing in your own words. It might sound odd as you have written, but yes, you need to rephrase. Don't rephrase everything. Means complete thesis ही आप rephrase कर रहे हैं, ऐसा नहीं है. Literature review is not, you are referring to someone else's articles, na? So anyhow, that you need to read what that earlier researcher has done, understand his findings, go through his conclusions, and then you write that complete thing in your own word. In a paragraph, you need to write it in your own word. This is what I would like to say regarding this.
Okay. The next question is from Jyoti ma'am. She's asking if we go for free plagiarism software, or if we check online, do our work auto-upload in the gallery?
Ma'am, Jyoti ma'am, it depends actually. Some of the databases, what they do, that they remove your uploaded work immediately. Some of them they don't, and that's why it is seen that next time if you again do the similarity check through other software, then the similarity report might be high. So we cannot tell, I cannot tell you directly that whether it will be available every time. It all depends on the policy of that free plagiarism software whichever you're using. You need to go through there, because they somewhere, I think they are mentioning it, that how do they, what do they do with the document that is uploaded for plagiarism check.
Okay. The next question is how can one and more words be removed from plagiarism? So sir is asking, one and more words be removed from plagiarism.
How can one and more words be removed from plagiarism? I didn't understand.
And I think you have given the enough idea about that replacement of
that is given. Just go through it, and those who have all these questions, you can the PPT that I'm going to share with you. In that, my mail ID is also mentioned. They can directly mail it to me, because I think the next session time has already come, and you need to give a break to the participants.
Now I will request Sheetal ma'am to please give the vote of thanks.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. It's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks for the today's session. I express my sincere gratitude to the resource person, Dr. Shantashri Sethurka, for this wonderful session on ethics in academic writing. And the session was very enriching and resourceful, and explained in a very radiant manner, making it easy for each one of us. We understood the misconduct of research and selecting the proper publication journals. We also understood how to avoid the plagiarism, which tools to be used for checking the plagiarism. And it's quite comfortable to us right now, at least, to go through the variations of sites and how we can provide the acknowledgement to our contents and everything in the research. Thank you, ma'am, for the session. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. I have mentioned my mail ID and I will be sharing the PPT today by afternoon. If anyone has got any doubt, please feel free to contact me on my mail. No problem. And ma'am, at what time we should meet again?
Ma'am, now it is 11:50. A 10 minutes quick break. We will start at 12 sharp. Otherwise, your lunch break will be automatically reduced. So please do come back by 12 o'clock. Okay, and don't leave. Be there on time. Okay, people otherwise leave.
Okay, thank you all once again.
Yes, ma'am. We'll start.